Every series we have these big sort of set pieces, you know, and that's kind of now become part of the appeal of the show. And certainly for me as an actor, it's a big part of it, because you have these big, long interactions between characters and dialogue scenes, which are fantastic, and then you have these big kind of action sequences, and this is wonderful. I remember reading it and going, wow, this is like a 15-minute sequence where no one talks. It's just pure action.
The shootout between Tommy and Luca, I think, from as soon as we saw the scripts, realised it was going to be a major element in the series, and so a huge amount of planning went into finding locations that would allow us to recreate a kind of a stylised Birmingham from the 20s, and there was great streets in Manchester city centre, in Mangle Street, fantastic buildings close by that just gave us a huge amount of scale and allowed us to kind of let loose, and we kind of went big and it looked fantastic.
And we just built up a sequence inside an old derelict building in Manchester, outside on the street and at the fire station. Then it was a matter of David storyboarding the whole thing and making sure that we had the sets all ready in order as how the storyboard went. And then it took probably about a week to shoot the whole thing. But really the key to all of that is storyboarding it. And if we hadn't storyboarded it, you'd be all at sea. So really it's being able to nail it in advance and knowing what you're going to do in advance.
So I went to the locations, I went with the production designer, and we literally worked out shot for shot. So the actual storyboards for this, they weren't concept storyboards, they were actually at the location. So I'd say, I want this here, I want this here, and I want that there. And in a way, it was the only way to do it, so as that we could actually funnel the resources into exactly what we were going to shoot and at what particular time.
There were several really exciting beats here. We had an opportunity to have this epic, drawn-out shootout sequence between Tommy and Luca and our guys. And, you know, David, our director, really laid out a wonderful sequence for us, and with a lot of drama.
And it was fab to shoot that. We shot it over a week, which for a television schedule is a long time, like 5 days, it's a long time to actually give to one sequence. Normally you have to shoot stuff in like a morning. So it was quite a big deal, and we tried to give it some sort of scale and some sort of sense of the city.
The Thompson, the Tommy gun, this is the most iconic kind of weapon of that era. It's a very rewarding weapon to use in a sequence like that.
So we get real guns and we adapt them to fire blanks. Some are very straightforward, we just need to restrict the barrels. Some have more complex locking mechanisms that we need to adapt and to make them fire. Lots of these guns are irreplaceable. It's not a money matter, it's just we cannot get these, replace these old guns.
We've got a lot of effects, combination of bullet hit effects, head hits, we've got dust hits. It's a pretty crazy scene, so it's going to be a lot of fun. One of our stunt performers, he gets shot multiple times, falls to the floor, and then Tommy comes down and just basically just executes him. And what we did is we put a pressure vessel behind his head, filled that with blood. Basically, that goes to an air receiver, and when I press a button on one of my firing systems, and it just fires blood out from his head, so it looks like he's been shot in the face. So it all went all over the floor and made a bit of a stain on the floor.
I think we succeeded. It was certainly amazing to shoot it, because it's pure adrenaline, pure. I don't think I say anything at all until the very end.
Those are the real fun moments when you have a chance to play them.